First of all, let me just go ahead and get that out of the way. Hi to hello. And then second of all, let me just say that these are not tears in my eyes, even though I am trying with everything I got. I'm trying with everything in me not to cry, because there has been one setback after another. Hi friends, let me grab myself this water bottle. So everyone knows that the stall project is underway, and well, like I said in the description, we had a lot of help show up. But it's not what you thought. It's not who you think. It's horses. And they've all come to help. And they've all just want to do their part. And what they've done is created havoc, chaos, mayhem. They have chewed into my bags of ready mix. They have knocked over bucket after bucket after bucket of water that I use for my ready mix. They have dug through the side-by-side and pulled out everything they could get their teeth on out of the back end. They've broken my coffee cup. Rita grabbed it from the handle and just shook it and shook it and shook it until the entire handle broke off. That was my good coffee cup, the one that said Lord Lester. They have made a total mess of everything. They stepped on my level and broke it. So now I'm having to kind of eyeball to hope that the posts are straight up and down, and there's nowhere to move them. There's nowhere to move them. I can't put them anywhere. This is where they have to be, so I've had to do this with them. And as of right now, I will take you around and show you what I've gotten done this morning, today. And I'm about to have to call it quits for today, because we are about out of materials. There was something that we needed that we were unable to get, and I really can't proceed and go forward today without this this part. But let me take you with me and show you what I've got going so far. I needed that. Believe it or not, Roman is being very sweet. We'll start here on the back side. I had to put a post in the ground over here and a post over here on the side over here. And these two posts I will eventually paint black, so they'll blend into the barn, and there'll be a black gate that will hang across there. And I cannot hang that gate until the posts dry. The concrete has to cure overnight. It's a quick set, but it's still to make sure you have it nice and solid, and not going to end up having the post lean. You're going to need to let it set for at least a good 12 hours. So I'll come out in the morning early-ish, and I'll put my gates across here. And once I have my gate across here, once my gate is across here, look, that's where one bucket of water got spilt. That's not pee. Those are buckets of water. And then I actually started the project over on this end, where Roman likes this area right here, guys. I don't know why. That's his favorite spot. I lost 2 buckets of water over here. I lost 1 bucket of water right off down that hill, because these babies assume, they think that there's feed, and there's not. Are you going over there? Sorry. And so, yes, I had the McCoy's delivery driver set all of my materials right here. And you don't have to worry about anything. The horses are making their way back and forth through there with no problems. I'm not concerned about that. But I also put a post here and one over on this side that I will have to allow to cure before I can hang my gate tomorrow. And so I'll come out in the morning, like I said, and I'll hang 2 gates. That's the first thing that I'll do tomorrow, is hang 2 gates. And once I hang the gates, at that point, the horses will not be able to come inside the stables with me. I may let you come in. You know what? I can let you in because you're a really good guy. You don't bother me at all. But this other girl coming over here right now, she ain't coming in. That right there, she's not coming in. Hey, sweetie. Hi. We all love you so much, sweetie. Everyone loves him some Rita. Everybody loves some Rita. Why are you pushing me over like that? She goes, come on, Dad, let's show them all the work. Okay, let's show them what we've been doing. Well, here's where you spilt 1 water bucket over here. You want to show them all that you've done to spill all my water buckets? Yeah. All right, so I did get 2 more of these 4x4s, but I will take one of them, and if I choose to mount the gate over on this side where it's hinged over here, I will set that other 4x4 over there, so when I open the gate, I can make sure the gate is opened and latched open, if you know what I mean. You don't want your gate just blowing in the wind. That could be dangerous. So if I hinge my gate to this post over here, I have another post that I'll set in the ground over there at 12 foot. So when I open my gate, I can hinge it open. So it'll be in the open position. You guys get what I mean by that. And then I'll do the same thing over here to the back. So when you see the other 2 4x4s, just know that however I hinge my gate, one of these posts will be out there in the pasture where I can actually hinge the gate, or not hinge the gate, but latch the gates open. Okay, so that's one thing. Now, let me go ahead and show you the plans for these 2x6s. Let me take one more drink of water. I don't know why my phone is acting so blurry. Whenever I zoom in, I'm losing a lot of quality in my phone. It goes blurry on me. I may have to do a restart or something, so let me just not zoom in. Okay. So, the 2x6. Let me just put my camera down here, and I'll show you. Let me get it. You guys still there? I'm trying to get you turned around. I'm using that weird tripod, the octopus, they call it. It's so weird. Here we go. So let me show you how this is going to work here. So we will set 1 2x6 at the bottom, like you see right there. And I will set another 2x6 right here where the screws are at. So I know I'll have something to screw into. That's gonna be oh, look at there. I'll have to spray for that. That'll be an important one over there. So there was a bracket we were trying to buy that we could not find for that one over there for the ends. And then we also could not get enough. We could only find a few brackets. There's a bracket that sits right here. You know the kind of bracket I'm talking about. You guys probably know what it's called. We got 1, we got 2, and we got 3, and 3 on that side. So those 2x6s over here on this wall will be easy. I'll cut them to size, and they'll fit right inside those brackets. And then these pads over here, let me just kind of take one, if I can carry one and show you. And then once I get all those 2x6s set up, I'll take these rubber mats. Gosh, these things are heavy. They're actually heavier than what I thought they were. Now I may feel like I have to put you down to drag them over. Golly gee. Well, let me just drag one over. I'm gonna set you guys right here and show you. If you can see or not, actually not as tall as I thought it was going to be. That might be how we have to do it like this. I don't know exactly, but what we did, Roman, what we'll have to do is run those 2x6s along this back wall, and we'll run those 2x6s along this wall over here, and then we will screw those mats to them, and that will be our kickboard. They call it the kickboard. So we have a project underway, but I will say that I had Jamie go this morning, and she returned all of the brackets that I had gotten from Tractor Supply, and they did not have the 7-inch brackets that we needed, because the brackets that I bought were a 2-inch. This over here though is, in fact, I'll show you. This over here is, in fact, look at here. Man, looky there. That's 2.5 inches. So she could not find a 2.5-inch bracket. She did find one that came 3 inches. So fine, we're okay with the 3 inches. We can make that work. And then we found one that came out 7 inches this way. So that should be enough to put our gate. Well, of course, it'll be over on this side though. That'll be enough to, and they're square. So that should be enough to put our gate, hang our gate up alongside the tubing here, and then lock that down. So believe it or not, the easiest part of this job may be the one that I thought would be the most difficult. Without having to get a tack welder, we did find some U-bolts that I think that we'll be able to use to get our gates hung. And I have all those gates, they're here, they've been delivered. But it has been a little bit of it's been a project. And I'll say that having the horses running around was not easy. So it'll be a whole lot easier if I get over here in the morning early and start getting this thing knocked out, get the gates put on here, and then I can kind of hopefully find the brackets that I need. But even if I can't, I can still do a few things without having all the right brackets. I may have to go to some other Lowe's or some other Tractor Supply to get the materials. But I think, if nothing else, just by getting the gate onto the front and the back of this place to be able to keep the horses out and to give me some place to work, that will be huge. That'll be real huge. And like I said, getting these first posts in the ground was something. I was not able to get the auger to start. I think that the auger maybe has set too long, and the little tube that goes from the carburetor over to that bubble into the gas pump, the gas tank, has dry rotted, I'm afraid, and I cannot prime it. So there's no way to like pump the little bubble and get any fuel to your carburetor. So I pulled and I pulled and I pulled, all to no avail. I also got my tractor out here and mowed while I was waiting for the guy to come with the material. So I got this pasture here just cleaned up real nice around the barn. All right. And yes, I am staying hydrated. To all the motherly types who were concerned about my hydration, I am staying super hydrated. Yeah, I will agree with this over here, Bree, that there's been a lot of speed bumps. I haven't even told y'all about the worst speed bump. Let me drive over and show you. You're not gonna believe this. Guys, you're not gonna believe this. I wasn't gonna make a big deal about it, not on a live video, but I gotta show you something. You're not gonna believe this next part. Let me just walk and try to avoid the horses. You guys still there? All right. Well, everyone knows winch horses are the most difficult to work around. It's no secret that, Lord, here she comes. Guys, I don't know why my phone is unable to let me zoom today. I may have to restart. There may be something wrong with one of my lenses. Hey, sweetie, I love you, but you've made my life so hard today, guys. She has made my life so very difficult today. Rita's fine. Talus is fine. Val's good. Roman's fine. But that Gemma, she is hard to work around. Well, I want you to notice something first. Remember I told you guys this morning on the live that my plan was to come on over, get some things mowed and cleaned up, and be ready for when the guy gets here. So look how pretty the driveway looks. I got the driveway mowed nice and pretty, and everything. Guys, come out of the side by side. There's nothing back there for them, guys. There's nothing to get into. Nothing. But they will just smell around on everything. So I got back over with the lawnmower, and I was going to start mowing the yard here. And I start mowing, and I'm noticing as I'm mowing that the lawnmower was having a weird time turning to one side. And I thought that maybe it was because the grass was slick and slippery. And I thought maybe the tire was just spinning. You know, the tire can sometimes spin a little bit in the mud. And I'm just trying to mow around and, you know, trying to make everything look pretty. And I'm making circles here in the yard. You're not going to believe this. Just watch. At some point, now I set that there trying to fix whatever. At some point, I began to notice there's something wrong with this mower. It wasn't just not turning right. It was driving and riding weird. Guys, look at that back tire. Look how that back tire is like coming off at the axle. Can you guys see this back tire? Can y'all see this back tire over here? How it's like coming off like at the axle? And I says, wait a minute, what's wrong with my tire? So I get off, and I thought, well, maybe the bolts are loose. You know, the, what do you call those? The lug nuts. I says, maybe the lug nuts are loose. So I start looking, and I see all of this, look, all of this metal. Do you see all these flakes of metal? I'm like, the hell? Something is grinding. There's something grinding in there. And so I stopped mowing immediately. And of course, I called the dealership. They're closed. They close at noon on Saturdays. So my lawnmower sitting here. And if you want to hear the biggest travesty of all, look at this. Can y'all read that number? I know it's blurry when what is wrong with my phone? That number says 29.5. This thing has less than 30 hours on it, guys. Less than 30 hours. And how in the world can that happen? And then, look at this. I baby my equipment. But I tell you what, this angered me so bad that you buy a mower, and when we bought this property, we wanted to buy a good mower, one that was going to last us and be a good mower to us. And you can see this is not rough terrain. There's nothing here that should wear out a mower. This is a commercial mower. It's a commercial mower. And so what you think that you're paying for when you buy a commercial grade mower is one that's used to and can handle lots of use. And you're telling me that in less than 30 hours, the entire wheel is about to fall off, the back wheel, in less than 30 hours. And like I said, I baby my equipment. Like, I know that sounds weird, but I baby it. So now I've patch mowed a little bit here and there, and now my lawnmower just will sit here until I guess I can get a hold of them guys to come get it. But my concern then is, how long will they keep it? How long will they end up keeping it? Oh, that bothers me. So I tell you what, when someone, I forgot, Miss Bree says a minute ago, she goes, boy, Lester's hit quite a few road bumps today. Lady, sweet lady, you have no idea. You have no idea. Yeah, the reason I got my jack out, I thought, well, maybe it was the lug nuts were loose. But once I got it a little bit where I can kind of see it, I'm like, wait a minute, those are not the lug nuts loose. There's like metal flaking off. This like metal. So yeah, I'll tell you what. But hey, we've all had days like that, have we not? We've all had days like that. I'm going to tell you something, and this is the same thing that I said in the video that I was working on, because you guys know what I do. I make videos, and I also will go live. But in the video, when I was talking about what happened to my mower this morning, I mentioned something. And I'm gonna forget everything, but you guys can help me think about stuff. Okay, if you think back to, so I have that auger that I bought when I bought this property. So let's just say that the auger is 2 years old. Let's just say 2 years old. It's not quite that old, but let's just say that I have an auger that is about 2 years old. I have this lawnmower that has less than 30 hours on it. I had that side-by-side that I got, and you guys know the reverse gear went out on it, and that was probably within 2 or 3 months. I don't remember how many hours it had, but I had not even had my first servicing, which tells you it was less than 25 hours. Less than 25 hours and the reverse gear goes out on it. And so you can sit there and say, well, gosh darn, Lester, you just tear all your stuff up. You must drive the hell out of your stuff. Now, I know that most of you guys go with me every time I take a ride on anything. And you guys know that I don't drive like that. I don't drive like a bat out of hell. I'm going to tell you something, and you don't have to believe me, but I really do think that we are all becoming victim to inferior products, and I'm just going to guess things that are made overseas. I'm going to guess that everything that we're having issues with are probably things that are made overseas. And I hate that. So I hate it because I think that products are getting, the people are trying to find ways to afford them. And so they're looking for cheaper labor. They're looking for cheaper metals. They're looking for cheaper springs, cheaper cogs, cheaper whatever. Cheaper gears, cheaper electronics, cheaper something. They're looking for cheaper everything. And then they're putting all these products together and selling them to an American market, and things are not lasting like they used to. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. There was a time when if you would take, this is my personal story, but sometimes I would work an entire summer school. Summer school was always extra money. I would work my entire summer to be able to take that summer school money and hopefully go buy me a lawnmower. And you could guarantee yourself, you could guarantee that that lawnmower would last you 10 years if you took care of it. You could guarantee that lawnmower to last you 10 years if you took care of it. And all of a sudden, you're getting these lawnmowers and things that cost a lot more than they used to cost in the old days, and they're lasting 2 or 3 years before things start breaking down. And so I'm not sitting here trying to knock any particular country. I don't know much about textiles and fabrics and a lot of the other kinds of things that you guys deal with. But what I know are mechanized equipment. And if I have a tube that has already dry rotted in my, well, heck, oh my gosh, I could name more than that. How about that, we had to buy a new weed eater for the Longhorn Lester property because the weed eater that we bought 2 or 3 years ago went completely kaput, just went out. A new chainsaw, because my chainsaw, which I've had for 2 or 3 years, had some kind of, it just would not crank. And it's not bad fuel. It's not because I'm using the wrong fuel mixture. It's just things are not lasting. And I'm so darn frustrated right now. So I just think that I know I am not trying to make this into anything about tariffs. I'm not making this about anything about labor or American ethics, work ethic. I'm not trying to say anything about that, but what I'm saying is there is something going on with products. Yes, it's like we live in a disposable society where you'll use it until it goes out, and then it's not even hardly worth fixing. So I tell you what, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I will call them. See, they're closed on Monday. The dealership is closed on Monday, so I'll have to wait until Tuesday to call them about this lawnmower and say, hey, this is my lawnmower. This is what's going on with it. And you have the receipt when I bought it last year. It has 29 hours on it. Listen, they're going to come get it. And they're going to take it with them, and they're going to work on it. I'm certain that whatever's wrong with it has to be covered under their warranty. It has to be. But the inconvenience of making me have to go without for a month, or this time of year, who knows how long I'll be without a mower. So I'll have to try to transport the other mower from the other property over to here. It's just frustrating. But I'm sorry, guys. I know you don't come here to hear me bellyache and whine. I know you don't come here to hear me bellyache and whine. I apologize for that. So, but like I said, my job over here on the stalls for today is done. We don't have the brackets that we need. I have to wait until the post can cure. I could go over there and paint them if I wanted to, I guess. I got black paint. I could paint them. But I want to run something else past you guys and get your thoughts on it, okay? I'm just going to run something past you, and I'm going to ask you for your opinion, okay? Are you ready to hear about this? Sorry for what I'm wearing. Sorry for having my feet so dirty. I'm a working man. I am considering going tonight to, there's this church tent they set up in this little town called Cleveland. Cleveland is about 30 miles south of here, and it's right there close to Plum Grove. Now, they're doing a healing service. Now, just hear me out. What if I go and just I'm not going to make a mockery, and I'm not going to make a video. I'm just going to go and say, hey, you think that you folks could pray for my knee? I'm not trying to get the Holy Ghost in me. I'm not trying to be baptized again. Guys, you already know my story. I have been saved and baptized at least 10 times in my life. And it's never worked on me. But, listen, every church I've ever gone to, I've been saved and baptized thinking that there's something wrong with the other church. So my thing is to ask them just to, whoever the holy man is or the holy people, just come over here and see if they can say a prayer for my knee. Just pray for me and my knee. Look at my knee. Just say a prayer for this knee. And just see what happens. I mean, what can it hurt? What can it hurt? If they all put their hands on my knee and they say a prayer and my knee is somehow miraculously healed, then I will simply tell y'all tomorrow exactly what happened. I'm not going to lie and exaggerate it. I'm not going to do some kind of a jumping around dancing to make a scene. But I'll just say, hey, my knee hurts like heck, and it has for many years. Could you just say a prayer for my knee? And if y'all really do a healing service, then I'm asking you to heal my knee. And then if they put their hands on my knee and they start praying for it, and I end up limping out of that church, the same way I will limp into that church, the same way I limped across that pasture right there, then I'll simply say that it did not work on me. It didn't work. It didn't work on me. But either way, I'm not going to make a video. I'm just going to go say, hey, you are a traveling revival. You're a tent revival. You guys travel around and you set up your tent and you invite people to come and be healed and be saved and be baptized and receive whatever they receive. All I want to do is ask those folks to go ahead and pray for my knee and see what happens. And then, no matter what happens, tomorrow I just say, guys, well, you know what? Maybe God will fix it in his own time. I'm not going to go just to make a mockery of God. I'm not going to go to make a mockery of the people who host the tent revival. I'm not going to go just to look around and see if I can find someone getting the Holy Ghost, dancing around, Lord, Lord, or none of that kind of stuff. I'm literally going to see if they really do a healing service, and supposedly people are walking out of there healed from their afflictions. Then why not go ask them just to stay a little bit later and pray for my knee? I don't see the harm in trying. Now, you might say, yeah, they're going to pass around the offering plate. They do that for money. There's going to be skeptics who are going to say all kinds of stuff. And so, you know what? I'll give them $5 or $10. If I have a 20, I may give them a 20 and just see what happens. So for everyone saying go to the doctor, guys, I've been to plenty of doctors. I already have the MRI to have the work done. I don't have the insurance. I already have the MRI. I know what's wrong with my knee. I got bone on bone, okay? I got bone hitting bone. I know what's wrong with my knee. I've gotten cortisone so many times, guys. I've had so much cortisone shot into my knee. I got bone scraping on bone. So if I have to go to have surgery, then I have to have surgery. But like I've told y'all 100 times, I don't have recovery time. I have no time to recovery from surgery. So I just thought, you know what? I'll just go and see what the tent revival can do for me. There are people who are still saying, go to the doctor. Maybe you didn't hear me, or maybe you're so far behind. I've gone to the doctor. I've had an MRI. I've had the results read. You already know this. I know what's wrong with my knee. I know I need a surgery, but I don't have the two things that I don't. Well, number one, most important, I don't have time to sit around and let my knee rest and recover because there's no one else. And don't you sit there and say, oh, just ask your family. I'm sure they'll help out. Everybody got so much going on in their life right now. I'm not going to ask anybody to come by and do this and do that. So, like I said, I'll just simply go to the tent revival tonight and see what happens. So, I will report back. Heck, I might report back tonight. I will tell you, well, you know what? I won't. It'll be late. I know that Jamie has her scandalous thing going on tonight. Tonight is the scandalous. Hey, bud, you're all clean. You've been washed and so cleaned up. You look so handsome when you're all clean and pretty and fresh. That purple hat over there, yes, I was wearing that today when I was mowing, trying to keep the sun off my face and my neck and my ears. But while I was mowing, the delivery driver shows up. And so that had to come off my head real fast, and I hid it behind that tree. That's why that purple hat is sitting behind that tree. That's where I hid it when the delivery driver showed up, because there was no way I was going to be going to greet a delivery driver wearing a purple hat, a pink purple hat. That was not going to happen. Anyway, you look good, bud. I got to hold you for a minute. Mom said to hold you for a minute for something.
Thank you.
Got him? So anyway, so that is what my plans are for this evening. All right, so now I'm going to put on my glasses and see what you guys are saying. Oh, hello, sweet Talus. Kinetic tape. Well, I do believe that it sounds like the Graham Wolf says, don't forget that we all have earthly bodies that are dying, and sometimes God uses our pain to help us grow closer to Him and grow our faith. Okay. Well, Sandra says, people are not healers, God is. I've known people healed and people who weren't. It's nobody's business but yours. I say do whatever you have to do. Lindsay says, just get your knee worked on and feed the animals in a wheelchair. Someone else says, try acupuncture. I don't know what to do. Oh, Lordy. We'll figure it out, though, y'all. Hey, here's something kind of fun. How about tonight? Never mind. No, I am not on Jamie's insurance. We are not married, and so I am not on her insurance. I've already tried the Lubrisim from the Cog Hill guy. I've already tried that. You guys already know that. That was a gift that was gifted to me that someone sent. Thank you. And like I feel like some things that work for some people don't work for others. I have Ringo who's tried the Lubrisim. I may be saying it wrong. And I've tried the Lubrisim, but I don't see it doing anything for Ringo, and it's not doing anything for me. The anti-aging stuff, I don't think is working either. Okay, there's something up with my phone. Let me wipe my lens off. Let's see if I zoom in now, if it gets blurry. Why is my phone, guys? I may have phone issues, like major issues, because now if I try to zoom in even a little bit, it goes blurry. So, all right, well, listen, I want to thank y'all for taking a few minutes to hang out with me, let me show you around the barn a little bit of what we got going on today. And just to let you all know that I got the post set. I have to hang those gates next. That is the next step because I must be able to keep the animals out of there while I work. There's no way to work around the animals. There's no way. That's just not going to happen. So, alrighty. Well, thank y'all for watching. We are blessed to have you. We love you so very much. And what we will do is catch you guys on the next video. And yes, I will absolutely let you guys know what happens tonight. All right? All right. Thank you all. And we love you guys. And we'll talk to y'all maybe later on tonight. But if I do, it'll be late. Don't forget, Jamie has her big event at 8. And then, of course, I'll be in church. Night, guys. Or